Well, I agree with you that we need to focus on the problems of today, but the way we all imagine our identity as Indians, the history that we come from, I think an acknowledgement of that is also very, very critical. Mr. Chandrachur Ghose, I'm going to bring you into the discussion. Mohanji is arguing that, all right, the portrait was not there in Parliament and more than 2 decades it was not there, but don't assign a nefarious reason for it. I mean, there wasn't a nefarious reason. Do you accept that argument?
I would have agreed with him. I would have agreed with him if it was an isolated example. Let me also add the question: why did it take so long to rename the Andaman Islands? The demand has been there from the very beginning, from the as soon as the Legislative Assembly was formed in independent India. That was not done. I will give you some more examples, perhaps, which are not so commonly known.
Yeah.
That when the All India radio station in Calcutta wanted to celebrate Netaji's birthday in 1948 and 49. Sardar Patel, who was the Information and Broadcasting Minister at that time, he tried to stop it. And in 1948, there was a strike by the protest by the station workers. In 49, the artists led a protest. They was put their foot down and said that if this does not happen, we are not performing. And you will be surprised to know the name of the person who led that protest by the artists. It was the biggest superstar of the day, Kartavya.
Yeah.
So, I can go on citing examples. There is nothing about nefarious intent here. It is a very well calculated intent of sidelining Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose because firstly, he was thrown out of the Congress in 1939. His elder brother, Sarad Bose, was thrown out of the Congress the very next year. And this went on, and he was never taken back. He was asked to apologize for his political stance. He's going over to the Axis to fight for India's interests, was attacked all around. He was, several motives were ascribed, and there has been a very well calculated to prop up one non-violent Gandhian philosophy, and which later on was taken up by the Nehruvian politics, philosophy, and governance model, or whatever you call it. That particular strand had to be propped up, had to be championed, and for that purpose, it was essential to brush Netaji's role, contribution, his philosophy, his caliber under the carpet, at least to downsize it.
Mohanji, you want to come into the discussion? We'll try and connect with Mohan Kumar Mangalam. I think there's a problem with that line. But I want to bring in Mr. Arun Anand, the consulting editor of Firstpost, who's with us on the broadcast. Sir, the way Prime Minister spoke today, and not the first time, he's spoken in the tone and tenor multiple times, is this call to reimagine our own identity, especially, I think, for the younger generation, without the chains of colonialism, realizing and acknowledging what went wrong, and then moving forward and creating a new identity. And perhaps this pitch is what makes brand Modi so different and this government so different. That you're not just talking about your present schemes, what you want to do for the welfare of the country, but there's also a pitch to understand, celebrate, and reclaim your own past.
See, what Mr. Narendra Modi is right now, but he has said that we need to, decolonize, and my fellow panelists, they have also, spoken about how the legacy of Subhash Chandra Bose, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was ignored. See, largely, it's a larger question. What Narendra Modi has done is that he has understood that our whole independence movement was not merely a political fight to throw out the British. It was basically a search for selfhood. वो एक स्व की खोज थी. That was the larger message of that independence movement. That was the core of the independence movement. And people like Subhash Chandra Bose, they represented really that quest for selfhood. Not, the subsequent Congress leaders who they were not representing that quest for selfhood. So that's why for the next 7 decades, when we became independent. So after that, the whole independence movement has been projected as that it was merely a political fight to throw out the British. No, it was largely a cultural fight. It was a quest for the selfhood. And that is what when Prime Minister says that we need to decolonize. So that is basically extension of that message that when you're celebrating 75th year of your independence, so then you need to, renew your quest for that selfhood, and you need to realize that selfhood. So it was not merely, that's why, we have got political independence, but largely we still remain, culturally very, very colonized. I just want to add a small nugget of information so that when Mr. Kumar Mangalam comes to line, he can probably answer that. In 1955, around 1955, a member of parliament, Dr. Raghuveer, had asked for changing the names of, a number of roads in Delhi, which Nehru rejected. And then the Chief Commissioner of Delhi wrote a letter to him. And then he suggested that, okay, these names should be changed. And Nehru writes a letter, and this letter is there in the Nehru Memorial. You can search it online also. So then Nehru writes a letter to the Home Secretary saying that, I know it is basically, the Chief Commissioner is writing on the behest of Dr. Raghuveer, who was a member of parliament, who was a nationalist. So, and he only goes on to change 5 names of only the 5 roads. And the rest of the, a lot of colonial legacy remains there. So this is how they have, dealt with the whole situation. So, and I think Congress should accept that, okay, they committed a mistake. I think simply they can say, we should have done that. We have committed a mistake. We are sorry. And I think they should congratulate the Prime Minister and
it sounds very utopian to me, Arunji. But thank you for sharing those anecdotes. Mr. Nalal Kohli,